Welcome to our Zoom cooking tutorial with Priyanka, Arushi, Rohan, Nick, and Meher. Although Arushi and I are basically Martha Stewart without the felony conviction, Rohan, Nick, and Meher are new to the world of baking. So join us as we learn how to make the perfect chocolate chip cookie and find out how to build a claim warrant impact chain along the way.
Crafting a good argument is a lot like baking cookies. It requires careful recipe and a plethora of ingredients to be blended together in the perfect medium. Yet when making cookies, your ingredients may be flour, sugar, and baking soda. The recipe for a solid argument is a little different. It involves claim, warrant, and an impact chain.
First, you toss in your claim. The claim works a lot like flour in a baking recipe. It sets the foundation for everything that comes after. After all, much like you can't bake cookies without flour, you can't make an argument without making a claim. The claim refers to the overarching thesis of your argument, or what you are trying to argue. This is the overall statement that you are trying to convince others of, and it generally echoes the resolution. For example, under the resolution of the United States should end the sale of arms to Saudi Arabia, if you were negative, your overall claim would be that the United States should not end arms sales to Saudi Arabia.
I have a question. Why do I need to waste my time making a clam?
First of all, it's a claim, not a clam. Second, there's no way to make your argument without making a claim. Even saying something as basic as your argument is flawed is a claim.
Okay, I actually have a question. So why do we need to use like flour and like cookies? Because I don't want to ruin my garden, you know?
Well, it's flour like the baking ingredient, not flour like the flour. And if you don't use it, your cookies would look terrible. There's no ways to have cookies without flour or a debate without claims.
However, if you just assert or you just say your cookies are delicious, that doesn't necessarily mean people will agree with you or believe your claim. That's why the second ingredient in our recipe is the warrant.
So is a warrant just what happens when an ant goes to war?
Well, warrants are justifications for your claim. In other words, this is your evidence or essentially what your research is able to show. However, this does not only need to be numbers and statistics. In fact, warrants can be really far-reaching. Some examples include logical analysis, expert opinion, or even other examples. Let's go back to the claim we made earlier, that the US should not end its arms sales to Saudi Arabia. A fitting warrant could be, we should not end arms sales to Saudi Arabia because it would damage the US arms trade.
Another question. What do I do if I can't find any war ants in my cabinet?
Nick, warrants aren't something you find in your baking cabinet. They come from your heart.
Okay, while the warrant uses empirical evidence and analysis to substantiate the claim, we still have no idea why we should care. Like, why should we eat these cookies in the first place? What is the impact of this? The impact component of the recipe is basically the vanilla and the chocolate. It's the part that sticks with you. The impact explains the implications of the issue in order to emphasize the scope of the problem. And I hope everyone's paying attention because there will be a quiz on this later.
I just woke up. Good morning, you guys. Sometimes in the morning I like to rub oil on my body and roll around the house pretending I'm a slug. But I'm actually not going to do that this morning. So can you guys keep teaching me about all this stuff?
So, how do you weigh whether a cake or a cookie is better? You need a common medium. That's exactly where impact weighing comes in. This informs the judge of how they should adjudicate the round and discern which impact is of greater worth. Your explanation of the magnitude, probability, and time frame of the arguments you are presenting explain its impact.
Excuse me, I just want to put forth a little query. Do we weigh impacts in imperial or metric units?
Actually, you weigh impacts in Celsius.
Okay, let's go back to our good old Saudi Arabia example. So far, we have the claim that the United States should not end arms sales to Saudi Arabia and the warrant that it would damage the US arms trade. A good impact would be that a damaged arms trade could cause an economic downturn. Sure, maybe a cake is larger than a cookie, but if it takes longer to bake, then perhaps the cookies are of greater worth because you can taste them faster. Instant gratification.
Well, if it's so instant, how come this tutorial is so long?
Sorry, Rohan, I couldn't hear you. The volume inside of this kitchen is astronomical. Moving along then. Now let's mix it all up and put it together. Rohan, can you give us an example of a claim warrant impact chain?
Sure. My claim is that Priyanka and Arushi are mean. My warrant is that they have portrayed me as an incompetent fool this whole show. The impact is that it's hurting my feelings.
Oh my god, Rohan, can you just stop making bad arguments?
Oh, sure thing, Arushi. Now that we've learned all these lessons, here's an amazing baking-related claim warrant impact chain. The claim is you should not eat raw cookie dough. This is the idea you want to convey. It will be useful in a debate with the topics such as should I eat raw cookie dough or is cookie dough good for you?
All right, now the warrant is raw cookie dough has raw eggs in it, which could give you salmonella. This is the reasoning behind my claim. It should be backed by evidence from a credible source. In this case, the source is my mother's Facebook feed.
The impact is 450 people die in the United States from salmonella every year. That'd be devastating for the United States, which often speaks of the importance of keeping its citizens safe, and would destroy our credibility if we didn't take action to halt this. The impact is why the warrant matters. It provides a context for who will be affected by the debate and your argument.
Wow, boys, that was great.
You know what the best part about baking cookies is?
Is it like eating them?
Enjoying the absolutely scrumptious fruits of your labor?
Rejoicing in what you accomplished?
Man, you guys really understood what we were putting out there. That's exactly correct. We are just so glad that you all learned and understood so much in this endeavor. Thank you so much for dedicating so much to this valuable cause.
And we're out of time. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode, and we hope to catch you all in another one next week.
Wait, we have to do one next week?
Bye.
Bye.